architect Sanjeev to offer a floral welcome to architect Hosema. It's a beautiful floral welcome. It's beautifully crafted by origami, spearheaded by none other than architect Bobby Vitankar and team. Come on, everybody, huge round of applause. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Is it audible? Thank you. Thank you. हम रोज ही एक नई कहानी देखते हैं और सुनते हैं और घड़ते हैं. I believe that we all have come here to play some or other role in our life. Some of them are designers, some of are architects, some of do some brilliant, more than brilliant work. They are more geniuses. There are some of them who do brilliant work, but they don't know how to publish themselves. They don't know how to come out and display their work in the fraternity or in the industry in order to make themselves a little better. But we all are doing. Is it audible? Is it audible proper? Because I can hear these fans sound much more than my own sound, so that's the reason. Thank you. So finally, eventually, what we are doing is हम यहाँ रोज का एक ड्रामा ही कर रहे हैं. रोज सुबह आपका हर एक प्रोजेक्ट एक पिक्चर की तरह है. हर प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर पिक्चर की तरह है. आपको मैं एक सिंपल इंस्टेंस बताना चाहूँगा. हम बचपन में जब तक हम रोते नहीं थे माँ दूध नहीं देती थी, क्योंकि उसको हमको एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए कुछ न कुछ तो करना पड़ता है. सेकेंडली, हम जब भी स्कूल में जाते हैं तो स्कूल में जाने के बाद में हम अपने सपने नहीं जीते हैं, हम हमारे माँ बाप के सपने की जीने की कोशिश करते रहते हैं. हम सोचते हैं कि हमारे माँ बाप इससे हैं कि हम डॉक्टर बन जाए, इंजीनियर बन जाए, आर्किटेक्ट बन जाए, लेकिन ये कभी नहीं पूछते हम बच्चों को भी कि आपको क्या करना है. और ये जो इंटरनेट प्रैक्टिस है ना, ये हमारी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में आ जाती है. मैं अभी एक छोटी सी इंस्टेंस दे रहा हूँ. हाउ क्लाइंट बिहेव्स एंड हाउ वी नीड टू बिहेव. आई एम सॉरी, all my sponsor friends here, they are thanks for helping us out and making this show a big success. But मेरी इनको हाथ जोड़ के एक और विनती है, प्लीज ऐसी ऐड मत बनवाइए जहाँ क्लाइंट आर्किटेक्ट को गाइड कर रहा है कि मुझे ये प्रिंटर का बना हुआ इमेज से मुझे आप बना के दीजिए. प्लीज वो ऐसी ऐड मत बनवाइए, ऐसे प्रमोशन मत कीजिए. It is demotivating us. This is showing that we only follow printers. And the word follow our Instagram account. That's all we are saying over here. It is not the case. It is not the case. We are trying to do our best. So please, Pidilite, please send a message to your management. इतना तो मत बताइए कि आप आर्किटेक्ट को क्लाइंट बोल रहा है, क्लाइंट आर्किटेक्ट एग्री नहीं कर रहा है कि यार यही कर देंगे आप. थोड़ा PR एजेंसी को भी बोलिए. I will. We can talk this on a different level with the higher management also. क्लाइंट हर जगह पे कहीं ना कहीं गाइड करने की जरूर कोशिश कर रहा है, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली ही इज साइनिंग द चेक. बट आपको मैं कुछ ऐसी कहानियां, ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट के थ्रू ले जाना चाहता हूँ where you will realize that in hospitality there is not one client, but there are two clients for us. I will show you the expression, the end result, and I would like to narrate you those stories. How did we get the project? What did we do in the project? What were the narratives in that project? And what is the end product you will see here. So, मैं बहुत साल पहले जब करियर चालू कर रहा था मेरा, that time I did one residency in Warsaw. And I think so most of you will be facing it. It was a very, I was a mid-50s वाला couple था, जो वर्षों में sea facing flight कर रहा था. This was around 32 years back when I started my practice. My practice is 35. Around that time, I was doing that. So the client, both husband and wife, we were facing some different kind of challenge. चैलेंज ये था कि हम जब भी मीटिंग में जाते थे, हम भी बच्चे थे, हम उनकी सुनते थे, वो करनी देते थे, कुछ करते थे, कुछ करवाते थे, उनके पास से एग्री करवाते थे. लेकिन हमको एक बहुत ही बड़ी चैलेंज थी. That challenge was 30 मिनट मारने के बाद में हस्बैंड शेयर हो जाता था और हमको रात को 9:30 बजे फोन करके बोलता था, तब इंस्ट्रक्शन देता था कि बस ऐसे ही करना है, यू डोंट लिसन टू माय वाइफ. 2 दिन के बाद में उसकी बीवी का बोलता था, जो उसकी मिसेज बोलती थी वो करना पड़ता था. तो ये सिचुएशन था. आपको सबको जो रेसिडेंशियल करते हैं उनको आती होगी कि कुछ शेर जो बब्बर शेर रात को रहते हैं वो सुबह होकर भीगी बिंदी करके घूमते हैं. तो ये पोजीशन हमारी भी होती है कभी कभी, क्योंकि हमारे पास ना 2 क्लाइंट होते हैं हॉस्पिटैलिटी में. एक ओनर रहता है और दूसरी ब्रांड रहती है. हमको ओनर बोलता है उसके एस्पिरेशन को संभालना होता है, क्योंकि हर ओनर, every owner wants his hotel to look the best, without even understanding whether it should be looking that way or this way or whatever is the scenario which is there. उसमें best to best क्या होना चाहिए. We have an instance just recently. We are doing a very stringent, a business hotel, and client aspiration, like जो बताया वो गलत नहीं है, लेकिन हमको भेजता है सेंट रेंजेस के होटल. Now a business hotel, St. Regis is a luxury hotel. You can't expect me to follow that when there is a brand which is a business brand and you are sending me a hotel references. सर मैं वहाँ लेके आया था, वो बहुत ही खूबसूरत होटल है. So हम हर प्रोजेक्ट की एक जो स्टोरी है ना, उसको एक बार ही देखते हैं. और दूसरी बात एक बहुत अहम जो होती है, हर क्लाइंट को एक दूसरा एक जो किस्सा जो चालू होता है हमारे पास, उसको फीस आर्किटेक्ट को कभी नहीं देनी. वो बेचारा हमेशा स्ट्रगल करता है. After this, you reach a position where you start saying no, that time your fees increase. And I think so, in that respect, I will be very honest. I feel that some of our recent generation of designers are much more bolder and they have much more better courage to tell clients, no, we will not do your job if you are not willing to take. Or no, if you are not willing to listen, we will not accept it. I think so, we need to learn from them also how to say no, politely say no, because आज एक चीज समझ लीजिए, हमारे पास इंडस्ट्री में इतना काम है कि हम थक जाएंगे, हम हमारी स्ट्रेंथ डबल कर देंगे तो भी हमारा काम पूरा नहीं होएगा. इतनी ग्रोथ आएगा और उसके लिए हम सबको तैयार होना है. तो क्लाइंट को एक चीज बड़ी मुश्किल से मैंने 2 चीज सीखी, and I learned after a lot of my practice, lot of years investing in my practice, to tell him boldly that sir, you throw peanuts and you get monkeys only. You can't get anything there. it yesterday. When he decides that he wants it, I wanted it yesterday. And I very politely, and I have tried this, giving it to some of the very big clients also. This side myself, please allow me. Two fathers can make a baby in 4.5 months. It is a fact. दो बात लगा के 4.5 महीने में बच्चा नहीं हो सकता है, हमको किसी क्लाइंट को बोलना पड़ेगा. Because ultimately what happens is that when you rush up with a lot of things, you don't get time to design. You don't get time to document. And then what we end up is doing, चलो इधर से काम करना हूँ, ये रिबन किया, मैं कल परसों साइट पे आता हूँ, वहाँ पे 4 स्केचेस मारे, पेंटर ने उसके ऊपर पेंट कर दिया, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने अपने आप से इम्प्लीमेंट. So we will need to encourage into a better practices in that way, and we will need to ensure. क्लाइंट हमेशा बोलता है, और स्पेशली हॉस्पिटैलिटी में बहुत बार होता है, बहुत यानी कि मैं डे इन एंड डे आउट फेस करता हूँ. We get our direct competition in hospitality is with international consultants. We compete with them. हमारे हिंदुस्तान में हमारे साथ कोई कॉम्पिटिशन नहीं है, बिकॉज हम है ही मुट्ठी भर गए हॉस्पिटैलिटी में कि अगर हम मुट्ठी, ये मुट्ठी है ना अभी पूरी खुली है, एक बार बंद हो जाएगी ना तो सब ब्रांड की ऐसे हम लोग बोलते हैं कि हम जो चाहिए हम कर पाएंगे. लेकिन हमारा कॉम्पिटिशन डायरेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन इंटरनेशनल के साथ होता है. क्लाइंट आके बोलता है कायदे से कि हमने फलानी होटल पहले करवाई है, वी फाउंड दैट डिलीवरी वर सुपर. You gave them 4 months to do the concept, and you are giving us 4 weeks to do the concept. How is that fair? How is that fair? You pay him $500,000 as a fee, and you pay us ₹50 lakhs as a fee. That is not a fair deal. There is a huge difference here. And I think so we all collectively, once we work together, we will be able to reach there. I think so we are there. The moment has started, and we will definitely reach there. So, any project which we do is a big collaborative process. It's a collaborative process. I alone as a designer or an architect cannot complete it. Our rest of the team of the consultants, we talk about in hospitality, especially there are a couple of more consultants, but you talk about the MEP consultant, your structural consultant, your facade consultant, everybody is so relevantly important that we need to, this product, whatever you see, is ultimately by virtue of the team effort which is being infiltrated by the complete team to bring up that product and deliver it to the customer. दूसरी एक चीज हमको सबको याद कर लेनी चाहिए, लिखनी चाहिए. If we can make 51% people happy about our product, we should be happy. We have certificate democracy of 51%, so we should be happy about it. We can never satisfy 100% of people. So let us go ahead and see what we can deliver. As I told you, there are 2 ownerships of hospitality. One is the brand and one is the owner. So the owner has his own aspiration. जैसे मैंने कहा, किसी कोई ओनर के लिए बिजनेस होटल बना रहा है और सैंडविचेस की इमेजेस भेज रहा है मुझे, तो वो नहीं चलता. So when we conceive a project actually, we do a lot of backward study at our end also. And those studies are what is the location, what kind of target audience, what category of hotel, all those are being incorporated into our studies, and then we take a call what is to be designed. Sometimes clients come back to us with virtue of our experience, and they ask us, हम कौन सी ब्रांड में जाएंगे या ये लोकेशन, because we of 35 years of my practice, last 25 years I have been doing only hospitality and nothing else. So we also have developed that kind of understanding for hospitality, and that is what brings the client the confidence that we will be able to advise them even which brand they can lead to. So the brand owners work in a very different way. ये बहुत बड़ा guideline. Now, if you look at that, there are products which are in hospitality. There are budget hotels, there are business hotels. In business, there is mid-scale and upper scale. There is a leisure hotel, there is luxury. So these are all different categories of hotels which come there. And for each of them, the brand has a specification, because being a client, brand का specification बहुत important होता है, क्योंकि कुछ ब्रांड के अंदर आप कहीं पे 200 mm की मैट्रेस भी लगाते, 250 mm की मैट्रेस लगाते, कहीं पे 300 mm की मैट्रेस लगाते और कहीं पे 400 mm की मैट्रेस लगाते, depending on the luxury, depending on the kind of brand and kind of category of hotel which you are doing. So सबका साथ लेके ही चलना पड़ता है. And I will tell you, at times I have seen that ID consultant, especially the interior design consultant in hospitality, plays a very pivotal role in it. He is a bridge between the aspiration of client, requirement of brand, and final outcome product which is to be delivered to the guest for a guest experience. So he or she, as an ID consultant, plays a very, very important role in all these respects. Because आप business hotel में जाते हो, तो 90% of time, I have my experience and I feel that people don't go inside, until when they don't go inside, they don't say wow. They don't say wow. Because they want to experience the inner spaces more, and then they want to make an expression. So it becomes very, very important that the ID consultant performs and he bridges between the client, brand, and finally delivers the product. So this is first hotel which I have selected 4 or 5 hotels out of it, and every hotel has a different story. So this is a Sayaji which we have done in Jamnagar. Now this was never a Sayaji when we started. The story is more important because what happens when the brand enters into it, and in which category the brand enters, and what can they govern out of it. So here, this was only a 54-key property here in Jamnagar, and the incident was that the client met me 2 years before we signed this contract. We were both sitting next to each other in the aircraft, and as usual I removed my iPad and I was scribbling, because that's my extension office, mobile office along with me, and I was scribbling. So he asked me, "Sir, क्या चल रहा है?" We were both of flying to Rajkot. So he said, "Rajkot जाऊँगा." क्यों जाऊँगा? Because I'm doing one hotel there. And he took my card and he said, I also want to do one hotel somewhere in Saurashtra. I will come back to you. He came back to me 2 years after. And when he came back to me, he had cross-checked all my references to the Saurashtra. Because this is one thing very typical, there must be some other Saurashtra, guys from Saurashtra here. एक के पास अगर कम फीस देगी ना तो मर गए, तो समझ गए. It is a full complete network where you will, all of them will know that you have done that work in that number, or you have delivered a good work or you have delivered the bad work. So this is very important. If you guys are ready, or you guys are working in Saurashtra, this is something which is very important. If you have delivered beautiful project, you will get multiple number of projects. So we came here, this was something which was there, and it was open-ended. Sayaji was the brand of hotels which was signed during COVID, because we had just finished this hotel. We delivered them, handed over them in February and by March 18, the COVID came in. So this was signed during COVID, and they are doing some phenomenal work. This was one of the first branded hotels and well-organized hotel in Jamnagar. There is a lot of work which is happening in Jamnagar, but all thanks to Mitesh Bhai, nothing is permissible for public count or not. was a 3-floor ATM lobby which we did. Now, when we did this, we always ensure that when we design a product, especially when it is unbranded, they have to always compete. As I said, we study a lot of things. So we study what was existing in Jamnagar. But Jamnagar as a location has got some various different kind of potential because a lot of shipping giants are sitting there. A lot of Reliance mobility is there. A lot of other factors are also governing Jamnagar as a part of the surrounding, as a location. So we felt that there is a possibility that there is lot more brands which will inflow once this is created. We always try to design a product which is at least 3 years in advance. Please understand, for a house or for a commercial office, I don't need to foresight that, but I need to foresight what is going to be, because if I start the project now, and if it's a greenfield project, it takes at least 3 years to deliver. So I need to foresight that what is going to happen 3 years down the line in the industry, because if somebody starts a project 1 year after me and lands 1 year after us also, then I think they always have an edge about that. So my philosophy in my practice is very clear. You do guest rooms, you can save couple of thousands of rupees in the guest room areas. Please do that, because that is a part of our compulsiveness. But be liberal in the public spaces, because if you do a beautiful cover page of a book, always the book gets picked up first. In any rack you feel, if the book cover page is good, you will find that gets picked up first. So this is the lobby of a very small hotel. So the way the lobby was enhanced in terms of, because every floor you climb up, you see the reflection of this from the spaces which are there on the other side. So if you see this, these are, I'm sorry, LED lasers will not work. So these are the public spaces which are overlooking into this. So what we did is that instead of trying to get off from that tunnel space which was there, we tried to put some mirrors on the other side and all. So a wonderful, this is a very colorful and very jovial kind of three-handed design which we created here. So every mirror you will find that there are spaces what is there above you will see. So there is a cafe on the first floor level which is being reflected here. So the small details which we wanted and what inspired us. So there is a geometry, this is a typical geometry, and we wanted actually, because this orange studs which you see, there was supposed to be orange studs on top of it which were to be made and create a parametric pattern on this. But since COVID happened and none of us could visit, and the hotel operating was open during just after the first lockdown, this remained unfinished. Otherwise, this pattern was looking far more different with what we had pursued. So we had wanted a larger. So there are few times we can achieve few things, but we visualize we can't achieve. There is always a compromise. This is the hallway diagram. So, kind of aspiration which client wanted was, his brief was very clear. Sir, अच्छे से अच्छा बना, पैसा is not a problem, money was not a problem. But I can't make him spend 1 crore rupee a fee over here, because he will never be able to put another hotel after. Even if he decides to spend that kind of money, and he has money which is I would say which is not by the virtue of debt, then also as a businessman, if you decide to make an over investment into your property, you tend to fail, your project tends to fail, because you will never make money out of that project. So we balance all these things. So, as I said, owner's aspiration and brand requirement. Here there was no brand, but owner's aspiration had to be handled so that we kept on telling him this is going to be the best in Jamnagar. This is going to be the best in. And yet today also I am very sure I have not been to Jamnagar for quite some time, but this property yet would be the one of the best in Jamnagar. So how does it affect? If you look at this, there is a lot of color variation, everything is beautiful, but the luxury is missing in this. I would say I am not adding luxury to it. What makes it luxurious, the same design could be interpreted in a very different way. And this is the trick of the trade which I am very openly, I am happy to share with it. If I had to do luxury in this, I would change this material, not only the material, but the amount of detailing which I am going to add into it. So, moment you start adding layering of details into it, your characteristic of a product, your look and feel, everything changes. Everything changes very well. So, this is a cafe. There is a banquet hall. Now, his aspiration values, how do we achieve? The flooring which is done here has got detailing into it. Ultimately, what makes it look, for a common man, what makes it look good is the way it is presented. Even if you present a plain stone flooring, it would have looked nice. But to add a detail into it makes it look a little more beautiful. That's all. Now, Saurashtra, Jamnagar, location of celebration. The banquet carpet is all full of celebration. So even if you don't have any single chair on it, and if you have a party which is going to be there, you will just feel that that celebration is being reflected here. These are the rooms. Now, what we try to bring is, when we are looking at a very business-like hotel and a budget hotel, I would not say this is a budget hotel, but a very business-like hotel, we always feel that the most important part of it is, how can I make it different from other hotels? It is one of the most important. You know, we have done projects which are in the radius of 2 kilometers, we have done 3 to 4 hotels. 2 से 5 kilometer के लिए, and each of them look different. And that looking different is by virtue of the inspiration, local inspiration which we bring in. So if you look at the art, the way the art is being done, the gurus are being inspired over here. So there is a lot of geometry which is a contemporary version of the actual Gujarat inspired Indo-Semitic geometry which is there, which is existing in Gujarat and especially in Junagadh and Jamnagar. Sorry. For example, a motif like this. Yes. So there are accentuated nuances of local reference nuances which by virtue of which we can make a statement of being not only being different but making a statement that this is in Gujarat. Now I would like to bring in another example of here where there is a brand which says this is a discipline. This is what we need to do and this is how we need to do it. And they are basically fundamentally they are one of the starting level of hotel which is there. But there is another difference which is there. When you look at the product which is getting done in US, where most of these brands come from, and what aspirational values which is there in India, we need to bridge them very well. And that is what which has happened here. So this is the brand standard. The brand gives you look and feel in the budget. There are some brands which will give you look and feel in the budget. So this is a brand standard. Probably from Pune you will be able to see this in one of the factories in Pune. And this is what we created aspirational value. Here we followed the brand standard in terms of the color palette, but we gave the richness to the product in terms of public area. The rooms are very basic, very fundamentally basic, again following the same philosophy. And if you look at the chandeliers, if you look at the art which we have used here, it is all by virtue of inspiration of Lifeline of Mumbai. So we tag this property with Lifeline of Mumbai. What are the lifelines of Mumbai? We have used inspiration of Kalipuri, DST buses, railway lines, tracks, seaport. So we use everything what gives Mumbai a characteristics, and we give the Lifeline to Mumbai. So if you look at the sand dunes which could occur, the chandelier is being inspired by that, so we could do a reverse parametric chandelier over here in this pattern. So a lobby which is a very clean, neat, crisp lobby which is done here. This is a coffee shop which is brand standard, and this is what we create. Here what we have done is fundamentally, if you look at it, instead of doing too much of detailing, what we have done is the characteristics by using this simple mosaic tile, which gives me much more value addition to and gives the characteristics to the complete space. And have some lights which are hanging lights which breaks away that complete volumetric space and creates a different dimension to it. So from what we inspired and what we deliver and what we can deliver is something positive. So today for Marriott, this is the new brand standard for Marriott. What we created for them is the new brand standard for Marriott, for their culture brand, for their new brand. Thank you. So what is most important in hospitality is what kind of material specs you follow. What kind of detailing you do. You saw those images which were seen earlier. This is something which is there on the similar line. But we have not used anything which is horizontal here. Because my housekeeping has a major problem if I use horizontal grooves or riggles. If it is vertical, it is much more easier to maintain. There is much more less dust collection and everything. These are all leatherites. Because for a brand like Fairfield which is to be used and abused, and that too at a location like airport, this property, I checked with owners few months back, they did 93% of occupancy with 208 keys. Means phenomenal occupancy level. And probably I am sure that once this Mumbai airport picks up again with all the inflows of flight and every other thing, I am dead sure that it will go to minus occupancy. Minus occupancy in hospitality is beyond 100%, because there might be somebody who will take into this hotel in the morning, being next to the airport, and leave by evening, and somebody will, before 12 o'clock midnight, will check in again. So that will lead to probably 100% plus, which in hospitality is minus occupancy. So small detailing. If you look at it, it's very plain, simple. I would like to share another incident of this particular hotel in terms of specification. Marriott for the first time allowed laminate to be used in their Fairfield brand. Till date, they were using only veneer. I told the client that we will be able to produce this in laminate, and the client was very happy that we can use laminate in the hotel, because we know that this is going to be, the rooms are very small, they are only 19.75 square meters, so just about 200, and with the bathroom included in it. In this room, if you keep on using exclusive material, maintenance is going to be a huge problem. So when we did this with laminate, we showed both the mock-ups. We did one with the laminate and we did one with the veneer. And Marriott approved one with the laminate. And then we told them that this is with laminate and this is not with laminate. So we could tweak the specs to an extent where we delivered them what was expected in our specification. So understanding of material, specification, how to manage it is going to be very, very important. So I think so this is one of the PDR wall. We didn't spend much of money on it. What we created is, we tried to think over it that what is going to be the, if Mumbai seashores were clean enough, we would have got this kind of waves in it with the sand being seen over there. And that inspired us as an art, and we created that as an art. And we placed that in a large digital graphic wallpaper as an art piece. And I think so it made our life much more easier. It got, everything looks beautiful and it has got its own sensibilities on it. This is the bar. This is the earlier room which as per the brand standard, and this is what we created. So it's a beautiful location. You can see the aircraft being taxied at the airport terminal 2. So the room has got a lot of, we ensured that the glass is sufficiently large enough for the room to give that feel of space. This is one of the premium suite rooms which was created here. This is what they expected in terms of conferencing and banqueting spaces, and this is what we delivered. Because somebody needs to understand, sitting in US, you can't conceive what Americans like, Indians don't like. It is not necessary. We are people with a great history. We have so much of culture, so much of history, so much to get inspired from. And if you are going to do something which is bland, grays and beige, that is not something what is expected by the Indians. We are colorful people sitting in this room. If I would have been addressing this in international forum, I would have seen, only thing which I would have seen is white and greys and blacks. सब काले कपड़े में पहन के आते थे. हमारे वहाँ ऐसा नहीं है. यहाँ पे all these beautiful ladies are so colorful. All these guys over here, they are all in light grey colorful jackets. Why? Because we are a country with so much of inspiration, so much of culture, and so much of celebration. So our banquet spaces always have to be beautiful, irrespective whatever the brand says. They have to be beautiful and they have to be acceptable for all ceremonial purposes. This is one of the wonderful projects which we just finished shooting the phase 2 of this. This project came to us, the ownership came to us and the brand suggested our name. Selection was a brand which was launched just before COVID and declared by IHCL. And when they launched it, they were already in process of doing a project which was which is open now in Delhi Connaught Selection. And when the ownership bought this was an existing Lagua, a property. So since the architecture was existing, we felt that we could front, we managed to front this and open this 57-piece suite room property, all suites property almost, because the room sizes begin from the smallest room which is there, which are only 10 in numbers of the 57 is 550, rest all are 750 plus, 750 square feet plus. And we have added 82 rooms in this, a wonderful property it has become now, and it is now started making business sense. So this was a lobby. Again, this is a Selection is a very boutique brand, guided but not guided, with so much of freehand for a designer. So the designer has a freedom to express himself or his with whatever mannerism he feels appropriate. So the architecture was done on the basis of a very contemporary representation of Jantar Mantar, all thanks to the architects, earlier architects, who designed so contemporary that our design and languages of our interior had to follow them irrespective of whatever we felt. So we took the inspiration from Ratna, and from that Ratna we started following back. In public space, we took inspiration of a lot of architecture of Jaipur as well as history of Jaipur. So if you look at this is a bowing horse which we have taken from the history reference. When a guest enters, he looks at the reception which is a antique Haveli door, which is a welcoming door for them. And then the bowing horse in front of it is a part of a respect being paid to the guest, taken from the history from Raja Jai Singh, a story of Raja Jai Singh and the bowing horse. So these are the local, some nuances which we keep on taking, and we always try to put those nuances back into the property. And for us, I think so, I'm very, very happy to say that today, that it took me almost 27 years to understand how narratives and nuances to make my design as a first. 28 years. I think so today, our time, I will be honest, Sanjeev, Bobby, all are here. पहले हम लोग डिजाइन बनाते थे, फिर कॉन्सेप्ट बनाते थे. Do you guys agree? हम लोग पहले डिजाइन बनाते थे, फिर कॉन्सेप्ट बनाते थे इसके ऊपर. आज हम लोग कॉन्सेप्ट पहले लिखते हैं, नैरेटिव पहले लिख रहे हैं और डिजाइन बाद में बना रहे हैं. So this is something which was probably at our time, this was never an important aspect of it, which is as on date in today in the practice of education, it has become very, very, very important. So as I was talking about the reception, so this Jali is absolutely a contemporary representation of Jaipur geometry, which has been very well beautifully expressed in architecture as a parametric design. So two chairs which accentuate, so a lot of burst of colors. The total color palette came out from the various inspiration of colorful birds of Bharatpur Sanctuary, which is a part of Rajasthan, and we brought that into it. We have got one image, I don't think so that image is there, but if you look at the flag end, they are all butterflies, and in that we have put one chair which is like a love chair, sorry, and that we have put it in pink, representing city of pink city of Jaipur. So there are various small minor nuances which keep on reflecting, and I think that this keeps a memory alive. And In general, a guest never realizes that what are the references. We have done some other projects which are at some beautiful locations and got to all the selections because it's a very boutique brand. We have started putting a small note or a tag where we are explaining all the kind of taking a design tour for a client who's the guest who's been coming staying at the hotel so that he understands how the design is flowing into it and what is the importance of each and every element which is being used here. This is an all-day dining. You see Aravali in the background, wonderful looking location, vaulted structure. And again, in the buffet area, the kind of flora and fauna which we wanted to use in a very broken and a very abstract manner which was inspired and which was kept here. This is Mandala, the bar. It's a bar which is there. So we inherited something which was very nice. We inherited some Avla work which was done by our predecessors and we didn't want to destroy it. So we recreated this mandala, keeping the ceiling as it is so that mandala had become a very beautiful part of the park. These are the guest rooms which are there. This is the new wing which we just finished and it was shot just 2 days back. It is being shot and now the pictures will come in. So this is one of the pictures. From rendering to the actual space. This is the lobby. So here the reception, bar counter, the concierge, everything is on one counter. There is no separate reception here for the new wing. People check in at the old wing and then come here. It's a fairly large 10-acre resort which is there. Again, now the Chinese being interpreted, the Oriental restaurant being interpreted in a very different way. The moment we think about an Oriental restaurant, we think about red and dark black color and darker color. The interpretation we wanted to change over here by virtue of bringing in little more freshness into it. There is a red, component of red. There is but to a very limited extent in order to, because it's an Oriental restaurant. These are the new rooms. So here if you look at it, again the Ratna has come in picture. In Rajasthan there is a typical Avla work, mirror work which is done. And this tikadi or mirror work which is there, we created the geometry of stars inspired by the diamond as one of the Ratna which is being sparkling over there as a part of the room. And then we wanted a door which was like an antique door expressing the history of Jaipur with the luxury. So if you look at it, there are a lot of things. There is Tree of Life which is inspired from Jaipur. There are Paisleys, those caries which are very Indian geometry. And then there is a beautiful chandelier which is drawn as an inspiration, which gives you the oomph of luxury being reflected in that particular room. Again, the way the art has been done. So we tried to experiment pop-up arts. This pop-up art is, we've taken a lot of royalties from various locations in Rajasthan, reflected here in various pictures and created pop-up art out of it. And Mojadi is being displayed as a part of the Rajasthan as a part of the inspiration from the Rajasthan and making the location. The corridor. Something which I realized that how difficult this corridor, I never realized when I was designing, but when I was actually getting it executed, this corridor was one of the most difficult corridor in my life because the carpet, what we were consuming and what we are wasting was from X to 3X. And it was, I think so, all salute to the carpet agency over there. That's the spa area. Again, something what I feel that we have got hooked to it, but I believe the end results are coming great. Again, the flow waves of Ganga which is there. Ganga flowing at that location is at least 8 to 9 months is muddy because the water when it comes from the monsoon, it starts, the first rain starts, it continues till all the way till December or early January, it is muddy. It is bringing a lot of soil from the top. And that's the color which we brought in over here. And you will find the petals, flower petals which are there. The inspiration of complete color palette here is with, through the gulal colors. Contemporary as well as the normal gulal colors. This is what something what we brought over here. So if you look at it, the way you will see, the cushion covers are done as a graphic, not as a graphic but as an art. So they are, you will find a Rudra, a Sadhu which is there. So all that what we could bring in over here and with complete Indianness has been brought here in this this particular project. And I think so what we have been trying to do is to try to make things, we understand both the requirement, getting married to create something which is great. We are, I believe, I have been saying very openly that we all need to gear up, we all need to do a lot of work. There is a huge quantum of work which I see because I am looking at something which is in hospitality, as a matter of fact, hospitality. If we try to maintain the strength of hospitality designer what are existing today, we are not able. And I think so we have a huge future with the 5 trillion economic dream which we are going on. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for architect Khuzaima. Come on. I would like to invite architect Bhageshri to come on stage to present a memento to architect Khuzaima. So firstly, 3 decades of experience, so much of knowledge. I think he deserves a thunderous applause. Thank you so much for giving us sharing all your expertise, in fact. So much of knowledge, your expertise, and giving us great insights on hospitality interiors.
Otherwise,
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we can do better. Come on.